So hey guys, this is me, Lightning Bliss, and I am back with another speed paint story time. This is going to be a special one today because I'm actually going to physically talk about the art piece I am working on, literally as I draw it. Currently, I'm only doing the sketch part of the work because it's going to be a very, very big project because it's a dual art piece between Lightning Bliss and Thunderblight. In this case, Lightning Bliss is with her G1 heroes from my childhood, and Blight will be with the G1 villains in a later picture. But for now, let's get to it. You guys already know who Lightning Bliss is, so we're just gonna skip on to Strawberry Shortcake here. Now, I can remember very, very faintly that Strawberry Shortcake was probably one of the first cartoon series I was introduced to. Very, very 80s cartoon. I can remember that much. I remember being attracted to it as a kid because, well, for one, I loved strawberries and fruit in general, but mostly because I remember it being very bright and colorful, and I have a weird thing for really liking giant food, imagining that I'm just surrounded by giant foods or foods I like to eat that are just ginormous. So seeing these little berry kids and berrykins, basically they're in charge of growing all these beautiful, lovely fruits, I just thought that was the coolest thing as a kid. The music was also really catchy for me too, but surprisingly, I don't remember what they all really talked about other than picking berries and having parties and talking about growing up, maybe? I actually looked up one of the episodes and it dawned on me that either I was tripping as a kid or I don't understand the context behind the plot for some of these episodes because they are really bizarre. I need to give them a watch and hopefully one day do a review about them. I know I need to do a review about the Rainbow Bright series and we'll get to that in a later date. I've just been super busy because, well, I have a new project I am working on and that's going to be released not this Saturday but next Saturday, and it's going to be a really, really, really big Lightning Bliss episode, so bear with me on that. Anyways, I completely went off the rails. Let's get to the next characters on our list. Yes, here we got Braveheart Lion. Oh, I loved the Care Bear so much as a kid growing up. Braveheart is probably my #1 favorite Care Bear, or in this case, the proper term would be Care Bear cousin. Braveheart is a lion, and he has a red heart with a crown on the top of it. It's really cute. And he's called Braveheart because, well, he's all about being brave, and he tends to think more with his heart and goes out into dangerous situations because, well, he's displaying the fact that his strongest personality is being brave. Sometimes too brave for his own good, and he can get into a mixture of trouble. Then a lot of the time his friends like Grumpy Bear and Tenderheart have to bail him out. But yeah, I loved Braveheart so much because he's just a goofy character, and I love that he's brave and confident. It's something that I strive to be, or I want to be. And I admire any character that could display that. And yeah, he's just a character I wish I could be, and I would love to be his friend if he were real. But now I jump to one of his pals, his closest friends, and that happens to be Grumpy Bear. Now, Grumpy Bear stood out to me the most as a kid, besides Braveheart, because, well, yeah, out of all the Care Bears who are all about love, sharing, and kindness, and caring about the world and the children and the people below, Grumpy Bear is a grump. Grumpy Bear tends to look at situations from a very grumpy, if not slightly annoyed perspective, but he's one of those type of Care Bears that tries to rationalize the situation and what needs to be done rather than just thinking with love, care, and kindness that will fix the problem. No, he tends to think a little bit more practically about it because sometimes love and kindness is not the answer in some situations. Sometimes you have to stop and actually acknowledge that there are situations that are dire and that they need to be addressed, and that's kind of what I like about Grumpy Bear. He tends to be that Care Bear that stands out amongst his friends and kind of smacks Braveheart on the head saying, you are too brave for your own good. You need to stop and recognize your situation before you go bolting in to save the day. Hopping to another character that's not exactly Care Bears at the moment, it's the last unicorn, or Lady Amalthea. She has the name Lady Amalthea later on, but she was really just known as Unicorn, and she was the last of her kind up until, she watched the movie or read the book. It's a good story. I remember seeing her as a kid. She basically represented everything that was magical whimsical, innocent, and fantasy as a kid. As an adult, I come to appreciate the story a lot more in the fact that not only was she all about magic and fantasy, but she's immortal and lives the life of immortality up until she becomes mortal for a short period of time, and then she experiences things she never experienced before, like regret and love. Something I guess in this world mortals or immortals don't really understand. And I think it was humbling to say that her friend Schmindrick the magician would tell her later on that I am sorry I have done you evil and I cannot undo it. And yet her response was, no, my unicorn friends are in the world again. No sorrow will live with me as long as I have that joy. And well, that was just really sweet and humbling to hear. It's also a really great love story. Highly recommended. But yeah, she's kind of the main reason why I am such a huge nerd when it comes to fantasy. She's really my hero in that regard. Yes, going back to the Care Bears now, we got Nobleheart Horse here. He's actually first of the Care Bear cousins to be introduced. He, along with his partner, Trueheart, they are basically the parents of the Care Bears and the Care Bear cousins. They're the reasons why they exist today and that they do what they do. Obviously, I prefer to like him a lot because not only is he like the father of the Care Bear cousins in a way, but, well, he's a horse. And I love his accent. He's got a bit of a neigh in his voice somewhat. He's very brave, he's very noble, very noble, it hits the name. He tends to go bravely and respectfully, and he thinks on his feet, and yeah, I just love him as a general character. He's such a cute little guy to draw too. I love drawing the Care Bears. They're actually one of the easiest characters to draw. They're kind of circular in shape, believe it or not. It's just a matter of keeping proportions accurate. And here's where my brony history comes in. This is Firefly from the original pilot episode My Little Pony Escape from Midnight Castle. Firefly is probably my most favorite G1 pony out of everybody. She was the brave one that basically flew out to find someone to help save her kind because they were being kidnapped by Tarek and his goons and Scorpan and whatnot. She's extremely arrogant, very brave, but she can be a little overbearing at times and tends to kind of dash in a lot, kind of like Braveheart in a way, but that's what I love about her character. She's brave, she's confident, she's agile, she's a lot of fun, and I just, she's a hero to me. She introduced me to My Little Pony. I mean, there's a reason why Lightning Bliss was a Pegasus for a reason. It's because Firefly inspired me that much. Then of course we get to Rainbow Bright and Starlight, her horse. Now, gee, what a shock. Rainbow Bright and Starlight. Why are you inspired by them, Lightning Bliss? Oh, it has nothing to do with rainbows or anything. Well, it's more to it than just rainbows. It's more like what they do to inspire others to be creative and colorful and to have purpose in our world. And Rainbow Bright just makes me feel happy. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, yes, I love rainbows. I love seeing her horse, Starlight, run across the sky on a rainbow. It's just so epic. I mean, this rainbow could explode a starship, if you can believe it. Watch the movie Rainbow Bright and the Star Stealer. You'll see what I mean. And then, of course, you have her original G1 sidekick, Twink. And yes, this was inspired by Twink's name. This is the guy who started it with my pet Twink. But yeah, he's known as Twink, and he is the leader of the Sprites, and they basically help Rainbow Bright and the Color Kids gather star sprinkles because this helps to power Rainbow Bright's color belt. And later on, when I do finalize this piece, I will be having Rainbow Bright basically creating a rainbow so it basically supports everybody on the ground who are sitting and basically saying hello to Lightning Bliss here, because yes, that's basically what this entire image is about. It's about me, my pony Asana, myself, Lightning Bliss, basically meeting my heroes from my childhood for the first time and just living in that moment. I know I'm an adult woman, and it's like, why are you still into this stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. It's never grown out of me, and I truly hope it never will, because I do love these characters. I still love them to this day. I don't care if they didn't age well or if their shows didn't age well. They inspired me to be who I am today, and this is just my way of showing my appreciation for them. So yeah, I really have nothing else to say other that I do look forward to finishing this piece and probably rubbing out the line work and stuff. As you can see, Firefly is going to have the same pony design as Lightning Bliss because I prefer to keep it in my style and not go for the G1 style, whereas everybody else I tended to keep to their own styles. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story and whatnot. I will be probably finishing this up in another line piece and finishing up with color. I might do a speed art style of this too. Let me know if you guys want to see that in the comments below. And then, of course, I will do another one, this time with Thunderblight meeting the G1 villains, all from the series. Till then, guys, keep an eye out for those rainbows. They will make you smile.